and welcome to the News at Cape. Now, first of all, I want to say a huge thank you to all the new sponsors that have joined us over the course of August and the Fringe and all that stuff. I'm super excited to be making lots more of these going into the autumn, and thank you. I was kind of hoping for a nice, relaxing, ease back into things after the Fringe, but you might have seen there's a new series on the BBC called Wanderlust about a couple exploring opening up their relationship. And the first thing it does is it demonstrates one of the most important axioms of the media. If you want to know how to do something, don't look at the mainstream media. So Wanderlust is a sort of masterclass in how not to do open relationships, in much the same way that 50 Shades of Grey is great for teaching you how not to do BDSM, or BBC Parliament is a great demonstration of how not to run a morally accessible open democracy. Needless to say, no sooner had the show hit our screens than the car was revving its engine outside my front door, waiting to whisk me off to daytime TV to discuss whether or not my lifestyle is immoral. I was on This Morning with none other than Dear Deirdre, agony aunt from The Sun. I'm not against people being monogamous if that's what they want. What I think is outdated is the idea that that's the only option. And for me, my experience was that I wasn't enjoying monogamy. It wasn't something that was making me feel great about myself. So I went down that road of let's try the alternative. And as soon as we did, yes, I was like, this is just right for me. This is lovely. I'm a performer. I'm on tour all the time. And, you know, you talk about, oh, I date 10 people, which sounds outrageous, I know. But, you know, for example, one of the people I date lives in Edinburgh. And so I see him when I'm up in Edinburgh for the Fringe Festival. I'm up there for the month, which I've just come back from. And I saw him loads of times when I was up there. And the rest of the year, I'll be up in Edinburgh 2, 3, 4 times maybe for meetings. And it's lovely. It's absolutely lovely to arrive in a city. Yes. Yes, I do the Perth Fringe in February, and there's people that I date in Perth in Australia, and I can't wait to get back there.
Are these friends with benefits?
Absolutely, in a lot of ways, but there's a sort of range, isn't there? So there's also, I have one partner who I see at least 3 or 4 times a week, who has keys to my house, who I would consider a very sort of full-on partner, and other partners where, yeah, it's much more casual. But at the same time, none of the people on that list would I not send a message and say, I'm having a really bad day, could you give us a call?
Okay, so
obviously I used the opportunity to start plugging away at my shows. It's just unfortunate there wasn't enough notice for me to write a "Hey, sponsor me on Patreon" t-shirt. What I found really interesting, though, is the tagline. So they immediately tagged me with this line that says, Kate Smurthwaite thinks monogamy is outdated. Let me be very clear, I don't believe that lifestyles have like a life expectancy, or I don't believe this is not how I think it works. And welcome to the 2018 Top 5 Lifestyles. This year, in at number 5, a new entry for lesbians with twins. This year's number 4, holding firm, it's living in a lay-by on the edge of the A4. At number 3, it's pushing a monkey in a bonnet around in a pram. This year's number 2, of course, travelling around the country in a camper van on the paleo diet. And holding firm at number 1 for the 4th year running, 2018's number 1 lifestyle, it's 3 hairy men in a hot tub. By the end of the debate, Deirdre was so desperately out of points to make that she was clutching for the establishment's go-to argument. But what about the children? She claims that polyamory is terrible for children because they will be able to see the intimacy draining from their parents' relationship. Because, of course, as we all know, intimacy is a finite resource. Had 3 hugs already today? Get away, Grandpa, we're not having any more of that. It's not how it works. But also, let me just say a quick word to the young people watching. Do you believe that the intimacy has drained from your parents' relationship? Do they seem to have lost that tenderness, that spark? Let me tell you why that is. You came along and you're extremely fucking annoying, okay? Thanks to all the new sponsors. Loads more soon. Keep it up. We really appreciate your help.